What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay. Now, this one has been a long time coming, and I'm finally ready to do it. I'm finally at a position to where I feel like, okay, it's natural for me to do this at this point. We are going to be talking about my original quote race because there has been no such thing as quote race up until these archons hijacked the situation through all of that manipulation and the raping, the kidnapping, the magic, the black orbs. That was the only way they were able to hijack, and of course the manipulation throughout the whole simulation, in between these lifetimes with this torture. Okay, but there was no such thing as race, or even these different groupings of labels that people call each other. There was none of that before we entered down into the root. This world was built around the root. Again, this world was built around the root, and it is as solid as it is with hardly any magic in the air. Um, because of the goddess getting raped by that beast or that incubus. You can't even call him a beast because he's not mighty. He's not that mighty, girl. He was never mighty. This was an incubus and an energy vampire. Okay. So prior to the simulation, prior to entering this orb, I was in my purest form, which was formless really, but it light, pure light, the brightest light that you could ever behold. Okay. And then I entered into the orb, and it became the net, which then became the ship, which was all illusions anyway. These archons are, I'm not gonna say masters because they are not masters of illusions. They are flawed. They are very flawed. Clearly, for me to be able to see what I'm seeing anyway, this was flawed from the beginning. Their plans were flawed and destined to fail anyway. But I was in my purest form, which was the light, and then I entered into the orb, which became the net, which then became the ship, and this incubus who was the color of this incubus was black. Although again there was no race at this time. There was no such thing as a black man or a black woman because we did not have the labels, we did not have the groups to classify these different categories or labels or races. None of that existed. It didn't need to exist. Okay? So this incubus and I began to have once they made the body, once they made my body out of my soul energy, which was pure light, and in the formation of different circles and swirls and things of this nature, the human body, the female body was modeled after my pure soul energy, the light, which was in the formation of different circles, swirls, and things of this nature, and the ability to regenerate and to give birth. Okay, to myself though. Yeah. The way they have it, they got these individuals down here with these coochies and giving birth to these vagina babies, which is again a feature of dropping below the sacral. This only happens down here in the root, and it's tied to those ancestors and families and all of that, the karmic, and all of that, and this Orisha bullshit and mess with these ancestors. Okay, and so like I said, me and this incubus had sex on that ship once they molded the body, made my body, and modeled it after the circles and the swirls and my ability to regrow and regenerate is how they made the body, the female body. And after this happened, me and this incubus had sex. And then right away, I'm dropped down into the simulation, which again are nothing but illusions as the celestial body, which was my purest form inside of this simulation. But even that form had been defiled. So I was not my purest white light there. Okay, I was darker. I was getting darker. Okay, and so we moved down into the ruler. I could have been classified as a white lady, even though, like I said, we did not have these terms and these words for these labels and we did not even place ourselves into boxes. Those types of boxes and labels and prisons did not exist at that time. But like I said, I could have been classified as a white lady because my skin was white because I came from light. And it was only the slow increments of these black orbs getting into my system after messing with this incubus who, like I said, was black but like I said, we didn't have the term, we didn't have the name, we didn't have the label. Okay. And then I move on down to the throat where I am that sea creature. I'm still whitish. I still have a whitish hue to my skin. Okay. Then we move on down to the heart where I was the head of the coven. I'm still whitish, but it's starting to get darker. Like it's starting to get like no, I skipped over the part where I was the this lifetime I had like reddish hair, but I was whitish still, and I had like hazel eyes or something like that in this lifetime. And I used to use my eyes to look at the collective, but I think this was before the coven. Okay, before I was the head of the coven, and in one of my also purest forms in this simulation before the heart was closed. Okay. So then I become the head of the coven down in the heart where I became darker, and I had like a Native American type of hue and like darker hair and things of this nature during that lifetime there. Then we move on down to the solar plexus. Now this is when it gets blurred, where I become, you could say, black, where I begin to embrace and I even embraced the blackness or the darkening of my skin as I move down into these simulations to now being fully black of the lighter hue, a reddish hue, a reddish brown hue, but also in a male body. The way these archons twisted it up and all of that, so that my people or the light sparks would not be able to find me or something like that is the reason why they did this like this, and to darken me over time. So as we get into the solar plexus and down into the sacral, I become dark, I become black. And it became I embraced it, and I would say that I'm not gonna say I loved it, but I embraced it and I adapted to it like the feminine is supposed to do, adapt and flow. Okay. And then we move on down to the sacral where I was most definitely a black girl and I was the baddest. A younger version of myself though, the baddest. One of the baddest black girls, but I had like red hair. I had red hair. I was really light-skinned black girl at that time. To now me being in this male body, and darker than that girl, even darker than the girl from before. or reddish brown skin. But the point that I am trying to make is that I started out as pure light, became down into the simulation, and it was this black guy, the incubus, but I didn't call him black because there was no term or no label for that at that time, and him thrusting that unhealed penis, that the carrier of spiritual disease. He is a carrier of spiritual disease. Those black orbs and that dark matter. The slow incremental process of them accumulating within my system turned me darker over time. Okay. And again, I'm gonna say this again because now I'm a black boy which I love. I love it. I embrace it. And this ratchet, baby, I done got real ratchet. I done got real hood on them, real project. Which is I'm trying to let go of because I'm, you know, and so what I'm saying here is that you don't know who you have been throughout these lifetimes within the simulation as we have dropped from the chakras, because you are in the body of a divine being. I just want you to know that you are in the body of a divine being. And as we have dropped through these various levels within the body to the different chakras, you have been changing as well. What you need to be doing is going down inside your body, finding a way to get down inside your body. If you're blocked from being inside it, find a way to get down into it. There are techniques, but I will not be sharing them with you. Okay? Not for free anyway. Shit. But that's what you need to be doing, getting down into your body, and clearing it out, clearing all of that out, because it's a lot. It's gonna take you a while to get that and clear that out. It's going to take you a while, baby. And you see, that's when you start getting the downloads as to who you have been once you get inside your body and clear out those blockages and that trauma, because it's in your body. And your light sparks are being trapped by those black orbs because they are in everybody. Again. Okay. I think that's it. Bye-bye.